Hello, today we're going to talk about how to make others buy things they don't need. So, as per dictionary, need is something that is absolutely essential, something that you cannot do without, and want is something that you desire. And so, today I'm going to talk about how we can make other people buy things that they don't necessarily need, and we'll attack two segments of purchases. The first one are business purchases, that is B2B, when a company purchases a product or a service, and the second one is a consumer, that is when an individual consumer purchases a product or a service. Now, whenever we say that people buy stuff, they either buy stuff because it solves a problem that they have or it fulfills a need that they have. And whenever people purchase services or products that do not solve any particular problem or do not fulfill any particular need, then we say that they have purchased things that they don't necessarily need. And it's an art to be able to sell things to people that don't necessarily meet a need, or that don't necessarily solve a problem. The first I'll talk about B2C because this is kind of something that we all can relate to as individuals, and then I'll come to B2B. Now, the first thing that I personally do is whenever I see something cheap or something that I perceive as next to free, I go ahead and purchase it without even realizing when I will actually need it. And this happens most of the times when I'm purchasing clothes, when I'm purchasing accessories like earrings and stuff like that. I have things lying in my cupboard that I've never ever used, and I merely purchase them because I thought that it's either free, or B, I thought that it's damn cheap and I will not get this deal later on. Now, a good thing about the free part is that in my childhood we used to purchase health drinks and coffee powders and stuff like that because we were getting a fancy coffee mug for free. So I'm actually purchasing something else because I want the free stuff. So we end up buying things we don't need, like the coffee powder or the health drink, just because I want that free mug which I would probably never ever use. The second way to make people buy stuff is to make it cool and trending. This is kind of a very preferred method for a lot of people. You just make something cool and people want to buy it. So a common theme for this would be accessories, makeup, clothes. A lot of fast fashion and stuff like that work on this principle, that if you make something cool and trending, people will go ahead and buy it irrespective of whether they need it or not. Then another interesting thing is to make something aspirational. So all our luxury goods, our watches, phones and stuff like that, we buy them because we don't necessarily need them. We don't even want them. We buy them because it meets our aspirational needs. For example, if I want to show that I'm in a particular class of society, I go ahead and buy something. I would probably never ever use that product, but I would still go ahead and buy it. And one thing that a lot of companies use is using the feeling behind a particular product or a service to make a sale. For example, there was a time in India when every oil advertisement would make you cry. So hair oil advertisement would make you cry, cooking oil advertisement would make you cry, engine oil, car oil, think of any oil and that would make you cry, because at the end of the day they wanted us to buy this particular oil because it reminds us of our mother's recipes. They would want us to buy this engine oil because that would make our truck good, and our truck will be able to go faster to our native place. So at the end of the day, they were using the feeling behind that particular product or service to make a sale. And you would also see a lot of people using this strategy where they use the feeling behind a product or a service. Sympathy or charity works on this angle, where you want to go ahead and buy something from a cottage industry because you want to be a good human. You sympathize with them, you want to help them. Similarly, nostalgia is a feeling that a lot of companies use to make you buy something. For example, buy this XYZ product because this will make your mother happy. Buy this particular box because this will make your brother happy. So at the end of the day, you're buying things because you feel that the feeling behind that matters more. And you can have a lot of feelings, play with a lot of feelings to make people buy things they don't need. For example, you can play with ego, where people are buying things just to prove that they are something or they are someone, or they just want to prove that they are able to afford it. So it's an interesting way to play with feelings to get your product sold. Then one common trend these days is FOMO, or fear of missing out, and a lot of sales probably happen on this ideology that hurry up, if you don't buy this now, you will miss this deal. If you don't buy this now, this product will not be available at all in the future. You just need to go ahead and buy this right away because this is the last one in the series. And n number of ways in which they create that fear in your mind that you have to buy this, and if you do not buy this, you will miss out something. And a lot of times we buy things out of FOMO and not actually end up using it, which is funny because I'm one of those people who ends up buying products because I don't want to miss out on this great offer. I don't want to miss out on whatever is happening over there, and then I end up not using that product. Similarly, packaging is one thing that I am totally carried away with. For example, I will buy anything that is packaged in my favorite color. So a lot of friends keep saying that, hey, you can't go ahead and buy everything that's in pink color, right? So a lot of people go ahead and buy stuff because they like the way it is packaged. I think perfumes and a lot of other products like this get sold because of the unique packaging. So you could have the similar perfume, but if you have different packaging, people will probably buy it. And the last, according to me, there are more, but if you think you can think of more, do comment in the comment box below what other strategies you think we can use to make people buy stuff they don't want. The most interesting one for me is children. So if you put all of these on one side, you can put children on the other side. You will see a lot of shops where the first product that's on display is for children. They actually use children to get you to the store, and then at the end of the day, you end up buying something that probably you or your child doesn't need, but because they just wanted it, you will end up buying it. And this is a great strategy to follow if you want to attract customers to your shop. You will see a lot of bookstores, a lot of any retail store. You would see the first display items are mostly targeted at children, and the child would actually drag you into the shop, and then you end up buying something, because you can't take a child to a shop and not buy anything, right, most of the times. So I find this to be a very interesting concept, using children to make people buy stuff they don't want. Similarly, you can aim at children but make the parent buy. A lot of other strategies that can be followed. Now, since we have covered B2C, let's talk about B2B. B2B is slightly more challenging, considering that the decision making power doesn't lie with every individual who wants to make a purchase, and there's a more organized formal process to make buying decisions. But then I still think we can come up with some methods. The first one is regulation or compliance. So a lot of corporate buying happens because there needs to be a compliance to a particular regulation, or there needs to be a regulation, there needs to be some sort of a mechanism to ensure that you are in the boundaries of the regulatory requirement. And a lot of things that probably do not add up to the business value as such. Suppose you have a product that goes into the market, but if you're buying a regulatory service, it doesn't necessarily impact the quality of your product or your sales, but you need to do this because this is a tick in the box, and you cannot do your business if you're not compliant. So a lot of sales of such services happen, products and services happen because of compliance. Similarly, a lot of brands or corporates make purchases of things that they don't need because they want to stand out from their competitors. And this could be things like, oh, I'm a very conscious brand, I'm a very sustainable brand, I'm a class apart, I use this type of ingredient, I target only that type of customer, I only give this type of deal, I only sell my products through invite and stuff like that. And that's why they want to stand out, and so they will make this extra purchase of a particular service or product just to make differentiate between the crowd and their brand. Then there are other companies that buy a lot of services and products or tools because they want to target a particular customer segment. And this could be stuff like buying certifications. When I say buying, purchasing the ability to get your product or process certified, purchasing tools or products that probably give your store or your brand a particular niche, because at the end of the day they want to attract those type of customers. So if I have a shop where I'm buying a lot of fire extinguishers, I want to attract customers that give value to the safety of the store, and hence would probably be willing to spend more and purchase more with my brand because I'm a very conscious brand, right? And I think the fourth reason why companies end up purchasing things they don't need is to signal to the market, to their competitors, to the investors, to their employees, to the regulator and any other stakeholder they must be dealing with, to NGOs, to communities, that they are a particular type of organization, and so they will probably invest in stuff that they don't need but are perceived as important by other stakeholders, and hence end up signaling a particular behavior to their stakeholders. So I feel these are the reasons and these are the ways in which you can make others buy things they don't need. If you've experienced any of these as a customer or as a consumer or as a business, do comment in the comment box below and share with me what are your experiences, what was the strategy that was used, and what was the product or service that you ended up buying. Thank you.